Hey y'all, and welcome back to another version of the I've been drinking with Fusion 360 or Fusion 360. I've been drinking tutorials, whatever you want to call them. Hey, it doesn't matter to me. You call it whatever you want to. What we're gonna do the tonight, we're gonna do this drain cover I did for. I got some outside steps on my basement, and it likes to get clogged up with leaves because I got enough trees out there. They drop leaves and it constantly clogging up. This is what I designed. This is what I was working with. Let me see if I can figure out. Nope, not that one. We're, that's what I've been working with. That's what I. That's what I started. That's what I ended up printing. Is basically gives us a lot more surface area, a lot more holes to let the leaves clog up in and let the water still flow through before it ends up in my basement, because that has been a problem. Oh yeah. By the way, this tutorial, I finally figured it out. It's basically when you go into the bar and you end up getting sitting next to that dude that won't stop talking about what he's done. Well, have yourself a beer. We're gonna walk our way through this. We'll try to do it kind of quick. Um, Try to keep it less than 20 minutes. But at the rate I'm going, that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna try though. All right, here's what we got. This is what I'm starting with. This is what gets clogged up all the time. Uh, we got like 12 holes. I counted them. You can count them too. You can hit pause. Go ahead and count them. I don't care. But basically, what I always like to start out with on the drawing is basically what I'm starting with, what I got existing for features. So basically, I ended up measuring this diameter right here. That was 115.73. All right. It doesn't really matter if it's that precise, and it doesn't really matter if you can read what I wrote on the screen or not, because that's what it is. Uh, the other thing I measured is the size of these holes. These holes, they are 12.555. It's easy for y'all to write because y'all ain't doing it and getting recorded. The other thing I measured was basically from the inside of this hole to the inside of the opposite hole, and I measured that at 74 millimeters. All of it's in millimeters. I don't know why I felt like adding millimeters to the end of that one. It doesn't really matter. All right, so we'll give you an idea where we're starting out. Basically, well, we're gonna close that one, minimize that one. This is my end design. I can kind of walk you through it in steps. We'll just go through it on a new build. We're gonna do a sketch. We're gonna start in the XY, and we're gonna do a circle. We're gonna do a circle. First, first one is gonna be 115.73. That's our diameter of the whole thing. This is how I like to design. You can do whatever you want to. All right, next diameter. We're gonna start from the center, and what we measured was at the inside diameter of those holes. Let me go back. Hold on a second. Sorry, man. Beer got in my way. Go back to this one. This hole. I had that as 74. Yep. I'm gonna double check everything. So we're just gonna type in 74. All right. We don't actually need to design anything off of that. So what we can do is, well, shit. You know what? It doesn't really matter. We can do a circle, and I have my drain that the actual drain holes. They were 12.55. So we can drop one here, That'll work. No, that ain't exactly right, but we'll go here. We'll go and dimension that. This thing, this sketch dimensions. So we just want to go ahead and dimension that. And click on there. And that was 12.55. Enter, not shift. I hit shift. In case y'all couldn't see my keyboard. And I know y'all can't see my keyboard, so. Alright, so that's that. That's 12.55. That's that. Now we're gonna do this. We got these constraints here. We can tie everything down. We can tie this dude down to here. So basically, we got this tangent of this, tangent of that. Basically locks it down. Out and all right, we're still stuck in tangent mode. So basically, we move this thing wherever along the tangents of that. Uh, we can line it vertically. We can do whatever we want to with it, but that's good enough because basically there's 12 of those holes. It doesn't matter exactly where they are. So we can do a circular pattern on that. Circular patterns are kind of your friend if you're doing something regular. Circular pattern objects. It already selected that one. Well, no, it selected the radius of that one. But we can hit the X. We can hit objects. We want that dude. Center point. We want that dude. By default, for some reason, it picks 3. We got 12 of those holes. Alright, that gives us a nice 12 of those holes. Angular spacing, full. If we wanted 12 of those holes and half of it, we can do that. We can play around with all this. I encourage you to play with all that. But basically, center point is what it's going to revolve around for that circular pattern. There we go. Center point. Yep. Okay. All right. Y'all gonna have to forgive me because I'm gonna switch back and forth between drawings because I already done this a few times and having a hard time keeping it down to like a reasonable amount of time. All right. Next step. I ended up extruding that. Let's see. This nice thing about Fusion is it lets you. It's got this history marker. You can drag that back and forth. I clicked on it and drug it, but it wasn't. It wasn't having any of it. We can go back to my drawing here. Let's go there. We'll click on edit drawing because it's basically what's hidden. We'll go to edit sketch. I did a little bit different than the first go around because I added in and made it center radius and did all that happiness. But we can do it the way I just did it. Actually works just the same. And then basically what I did was extrude it out so I got a surface to look at. You stop. Maybe it's gonna work. Oh, we gotta hit finish sketch. So it can all disappear. And we won't be able to see shit. Alright. You know what? I'm just gonna drag it to the end. We'll go through each piece. It works. It's just you got to go through here. You got to open up bodies and open up origins and sketches, and you got to do all that happiness. So basically, let's edit feature. Edit feature. We can see what I did with it. We can see I extruded it 5.14 millimeters. I actually think I measured that because that's a bit too specific a number for me to just pull out of my ass. I mean, I can pull numbers like that out of my ass. I can pull beers out of my ass too, but don't mean I'm gonna drink them. All right. So 5.14 millimeters. I extruded it. That gives me something solid to work against. Sorry, I was getting thirsty. All right. Next thing I did was I created a sketch off of that. All right. let's go back to this one. Let's go ahead and extrude this one. Hit finish sketch. Let's do an extrude. Extrude. And select this. So let's select that. Basically, we want to extrude all this. I'm just going to go 5 millimeters because that's a nice even number. That gives me a solid to work off of. Alright, next step. Where was I? Oh, we had this dude. Don't ask me why it looks like that. Alright, so basically I want to do a new sketch. I want to do it off the surface of this. Because when I do it off this surface, it references all this stuff. I get references to all these circles. I get references to basically everything in that solid. Alright, so what I think I did, here, I did a circle. If it tries to snap to anything, for our intents and purposes, we don't want to do that. We just want to kind of do in the middle, or we can hold down the control key. That keeps it from snapping to anything. So if we just hold down the control key, and we can then just draw that out. And I think I just chose like 5 millimeters for the diameter of that. And then I did I want to do the tangent again. So I want the tangent of that one to be the tangent of that one. And that gives us a little post there, because basically what I'm doing here is I'm drawing a little post down that I can reference on that'll kind of lock into that existing cover. Because I don't really want to get rid of that existing cover. It's tough. If I break my little 3D printed part, ain't no big deal. I will not break this part because it's been going strong for 20 years or however long I've been here. Alright, so y'all see I'm still stuck on the tangent. I'm going to hit escape to get out of that, and then I can draw this down. And I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I'm going to do it the lazy way and the drunk way, because normally I would align this hole with the was that the X or the Y axis, whatever axis that is. I'd have aligned it with that, so we could just line this hole with that axis, and we've been done. But anyway, that's how we're gonna do it, because it'll get us close enough. I mean, this is not rocket surgery. We just need to get close enough. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making little pegs to reference these holes to keep it from spinning, to keep it in place. And I'm gonna do 6 of those. We had 12 holes. I'm gonna do 6 of those. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the circular pattern again. Create circular pattern. Create that dude. Well, shit, I just deselected that dude. We're gonna select that dude. Center point again. We're gonna click on our origin here, and then we're going to change this quantity to 6. That gets us us 1 at every other hole, and that shouldn't block up too much. I mean, because we should be catching most everything with our cover that we're actually creating. And you know what? Let me look at this other cover I got here. Oh, you know what? I created an outside one. Let's check what the dimensions are on that, because that's what we can do with this. We get this inspect. We can click on there. Oh, it ain't gonna be happy with me. Inspect. We'll click there. We'll click there. Distance 65. I think that's the diameter. Yeah, that's the radius. Yep. It even shows us on the screen there. Hey, y'all gotta forgive me. I've been drinking. Y'all should be drinking too. Drink one with me. I don't like drinking alone. All right. So I just guessed 65 millimeters. We made it bigger than what it was. It's showing me. It's showing me that. So let's see. We'll do a circle. Uh, that was a radius of 65 millimeters. So we're gonna do 65 times 2, because y'all know Fusion will do math for you. You don't need to do it for yourself. All right, we're gonna do finish sketch on that. Let's see what else I did here. We'll do finish sketch on that one because that's that one. All right, what do we have next? We're just gonna slide this timeline. Oh, yep, we did an extrude. We can do this edit feature. I'm just gonna I'm gonna go through on this one. We extruded. What did we extrude? We extruded this outer side at 45 degrees. All right. So we can go here. We'll go to this home. Look at this ISO view. Basically, we want, if we extrude, click on that one. Let's go ahead and click on that one. We click on all of it. You know what? We just, well, that unhighlights everything. But click escape. We're going to click on extrude. We're going to highlight all of it. We're going to extrude up. How far up do we go? Edit feature. So you can see we highlighted all the features here. We extruded taper angle minus 35 degrees. Yep. Edit feature. Taper angle. You can click in here and drag in and out, and it'll kind of taper in, taper out. And you can kind of play with it and see whether you whether you need negative or positive. We want minus. What we want minus 35 degrees. That matches up with what I had. The distance, I'm going to go 25. So that operation, we don't want join, because that's what that's going to do, is that's going to link it to this bottom part. We're going to do new body. We can always link it later on. Here, let's go to edit feature. See how far we went on this one. Hey, we want the same distance. All right, so we don't need to change that. Next thing we did was we extended all these pegs down. Basically, we selected all these 6 pegs on that sketch 2. We can go here. We can drop this down. We got that sketch. See, we got all these pegs. We can just extend those down. I'm just going to go back here because that's going to be a little bit quicker for me. So we can go to edit feature. We extend them down 6 millimeters. Just gives it enough to kind of hold it in place. And that time, at this point, we got this body 1 turned off, so we're just not going to try to join it to that body 1. I'll show you. It's got those. We turn that body 1. It's going to try to join them to this bottom piece, and that's basically the piece we put in there to have something to reference off of to see how it was going to do. So if we turn that body 1 off, we can extend those pegs down, and we can do join. I don't know why it's got 12 profiles selected, but basically it's these 6. I guess it's the center points, and we're extending minus 6. So, all right, join. So now you look at this. We got these pegs sent down. Next step. We're going to edit this feature. We extended these pegs up. You know what? I have no idea why I wanted to do that, but we're just going to go with it. We extended from that sketch 2 We extended those guys up 20 millimeters. All right, that leaves us. Yeah, I kind of know why I wanted to do that. That leaves us 5 millimeters because we extended this whole thing, this initial thing. We extended up 25 millimeters, so this gives us 5 millimeters on the top. So that extends us up, and we wanted to cut that, cutting that out of the existing thing. All right, so now we can kind of look at this. We got these nice holes in here to allow water to pass, hopefully no leaves to pass. We go to the next step. And I don't know what the next step was. Let's edit feature. Alright, so basically what this feature was, we wanted to give these pegs something to anchor to, because when we cleared out all these holes, there's nothing to anchor to, so we basically selected this, and this, times 6. So that basically these pegs have something to anchor to in this dude. And, I know I ain't doing a great job of explaining this. Y'all just gonna have to take my word for it. Y'all gonna have to hit up the comments and tell me I'm a dumbass, and I'll go through it again. Because I will drink more beers, and you'll drink more beers with me, and I'll go through it and explain it, what had happened. But otherwise, y'all just take my word for it that we didn't. We added in these sections. So we added in this section, we added in this section, we extruded that up through. So we got some continuity, we got something to connect in there. It ain't just like we got this random ass part there trying to stick to it. Alright. It's been a while since I've done this design, and I'm kind of going back to it one step at a time. Alright. This is where alright. So what we did on this one, we pushed this bottom up 20 millimeters. So it's basically we left 5 millimeters at the top. We got 20 millimeters at the bottom to kind of open it up, give us some storage space in there. So we just extruded this bottom section up 20 millimeters, and we made a hole in there. All right, that's most of it, and we're gonna make all the holes in the top of this with our slicing, with the slicing technique. We're basically we're gonna get rid of the top and bottom layers. When we slice this, we're gonna print this side down. We're gonna get rid of the top and bottom layers when we slice that, so we can have nice continuous. It's the easiest way to get holes through it. If we just skip top and bottom layers and do like a honeycomb pattern. All right, next thing, we're gonna do a hole. We're gonna create a profile. We're gonna create a hole. Let's see, how do I do that? Oh, we got this tool here, right here. So let me roll this thing back. I'm gonna roll it back one step. I'm gonna create a hole, and I'm gonna click over here. I can click here, or I can click, and it's basically gonna line these. Well, from what I've seen, it's gonna try to line these holes with the X, the Y, or the Z. I can click over. Well, I can't click over there now. I'm gonna do a hole. But we'll click one here and see how it aligns with the. I think I don't remember if that's the X or the Y, but basically, it it's gonna try to align that hole with one of the axes. I click in the middle. It aligns with this red axis. I think, yeah, that's X. Red's X, the green's Y. Is basically wherever you click, it's gonna try to align with that axis. Um, And we're gonna make that basically we're gonna make that a reasonable size. Uh, it kind of gives you this picture here with what size it is. So let's go 10 millimeters. I didn't mean to hit enter. So we can go back here. We can go back to edit feature. So we get to change that to 10 millimeters, and now we can drag it up. We can drag it down. Well, I can't change what axis is on now. But basically, that's what I did. I created a hole through it like that because it just basically is going to drill through whatever face I select at. It's going to try to drill through it at like either one of the X or the Y axis. If I had clicked on the back side of it, it would try to drill on the back side of it. I'm just going to click on cancel. I'm going to delete that because I already had this one. We're going to slide that. Yep. Let's see. Edit feature. See, 10 millimeters. Clicked here. I drug it to here. And then we got a circular pattern again. That circular pattern, all the patterns are they're friends because they make things a whole lot easier. I'm just checking time right now and don't want to well, hell, I can't see what time it's been. It's been too long. All right, circular pattern. Uh, that's the edit feature. 18 holes. All right, well that gives us 360 degrees, 18 holes. That gives us one hole every 20 degrees. That basically ends up lining us perfect for setting one off at 90 degrees opposite that. That's why I did that. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I definitely didn't punch in a whole bunch of different numbers in there and try each one of them. All right. So, second hole, I did that one at 90 degrees. I did one on the X, one on the Y, or well, vice versa. I did one on the Y, one on the X, and then I did the same circular pattern, 100 for 18 holes, and then I stuck a chamfer in there for something. I have no freaking clue why I stuck a chamfer in there. Oh, man, yep. I think that's cosmetic as much as anything. All right, so we're almost done with this. All right, Fusion. We got this body. This body. We can highlight it over here. I don't know why that y'all looking at all my documents. All right, this body. We're gonna save as mesh. That's how we're gonna export it. Export it as a STML or STL, not STML. That's the wrong letters. STL binary, or we can send it straight to a 3D print utility. I'm gonna send it straight to the 3D print utility. I've been using Super Slicer. I like it a lot. It's kind of like Fusion, not Fusion, Prusa Slicer. It's like Prusa Slicer, only it's got a bunch of add-ons in it. It's not quite as stable as Prusa Slicer, but it's got a whole bunch of add-ons that kind of make it worthwhile. So that's what I've been running. Super Slicer, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we're gonna send it to Super Slicer, and I'm assuming we've got all this stuff set up in here. You can't see, but part of that, I'll drag it over into where it needs to be. As soon as it opens up, if it opens up, eventually. Come on. I guess it's telling me I need to drink more. I still got beer left. Holy crap, that's big. Let me try to get that down on some kind of like screen where y'all can see it. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That'll work. All right, that's what we're working with. But y'all remember, I put these pegs down here earlier. Those things are gonna be pain in the ass to try to print all this crap on. We can do supports, but nobody wants to do supports. So basically, what we're gonna do, let's flip this thing over. Let's hit place on face. We're gonna select that face. That thing's got it upside down, so it's gonna basically print from the bottom up. All right, let me change this thing. Let me find a different filament. We'll go with Prism Pet G. That at least show up on screen. All right, now y'all can at least see what the hell I'm doing. Y'all aren't trying to stare at a black screen with black shading and black tint. All right, what we're gonna do now? We're gonna do a modifier on this print. It's gonna work the same, pretty much the same in. Well, you know what? I'm gonna change this up. I'm lying. It's gonna work pretty much the same in Prusa Slicer. I'm trying to talk and do stuff at the same time, and my brain doesn't work that good. So, because well, I've been drinking. All right, we're gonna do. There should be a height modifier. Add height range modifier. All right. Y'all remember when we were designing this thing? This thing was from here to the bottom was 25 millimeters. That's how far we extruded it. From here to here, we did 20 millimeters. So we're gonna edit this range. We're gonna do from 0 to 5 because math. And if y'all really want, we can go from 0 to. It actually will show up better if we do 5.1. Now you can see we got the orange on here. I'm assuming you're not colorblind, and if you are, I'm sorry. I can't imagine. So basically, we got that height range modifier, and on that height range modifier, we can do. Let's see. We want infill. All right. For that infill, we're gonna do 15%. Well, let's do 13%. Fill pattern. We don't want any of the 3D because that's just gonna block things up. We're just gonna do a straight honeycomb. So we can do a slice now, but the problem is we still got the top and bottom layers. But you can see, man, this ain't what I want to be dealing with. All right, let's go back. All right, you can kind of see we got this. We got whatever it is with a 3D infill. As soon as we get down to here, we got this just honeycomb. No 3D. You should let water just pass right on through. That's basically what I'm looking for. I want something like stand on. Well, kind of stand on. I'm fat, so. But we want to do. We want to add. Let's see. We want perimeters and shell. So basically, what we can do here, we can get rid of the bottom layers. We'll put 0 bottom layers. And put 0 top layers. And we'll leave that alone because we're all good. And now, if this thing would finish slicing, you'll see this is a slice view. We got nothing but honeycomb. But that honeycomb looks a little bit sparser than I want because I want something to hold more stuff out of it. I don't know if that's right, that's wrong, but we can change that fill density right here. Let's change it to 23%. That'll tighten up. That'll tighten it up a little bit. Oh, we got sliced again. And I think that's basically, man, why are you going to be like that? All right. That's basically where I ended up with it, I think. Or right about there. It doesn't really. You got to experiment with this stuff. You got to play with it. You got to see what works for you. Because that's what this is all about. I'm just trying to point you in the right direction. Alright, that's where I ended up. That's what I printed out. That's what I got sitting on my basement steps. That looks like that. This actually been working pretty well for about the last month. I've had no problems with it. Printed it in PETG. It's got some exposure to the UV. Printed it with a .6 millimeter nozzle. I got no complaints. Anyway, y'all got anything else y'all want to hear about? Y'all want to know about? Hit me up. Send me a beer. Drink a beer with me. Long as we're drinking, I'm good. That's all I got for tonight. Y'all take it easy.